Hi all, welcome to my channel. In this video, I will tell you how we can create product filters. So this video is based on the previous video I have created for products CRUD. That means product list, product add, edit and delete. So based on that code, today I will create product filters as well. And I am using here PrimeNG and Angular. For doing that, first our requirement is we have to create a filter. So either we can create a title filter and category, but now I'm using a fake API which I was used in the product red, which only supports the products category. So first there is an API to get the categories which we have used in the product list. So it will return some categories. It will returns all the categories used in the products list, and once we select a category from the dropdown, just assume we are passing all these options to the dropdown, and once we select an option from this dropdown, we can pass that into the product list. So if you pass products category, then the selected category, it will return only those options. So if I'm selecting the category as jewelry, you can see it will only return the products which has the category jewelry. So let's get started. So here is the project. First, what we have to do is the similar way of add edit product. I will create a new component for filter product. For that, in Angular, using Angular CLA, we can create a new component. For that, ng, G for generate, C for component, and inside the product folder, I have to create a filter product folder which contains component, which will generate the component CSS files, everything. See, the filter project has been created. So these four components HTML, spec file, CSS has been created, and in the module that file has been that component has been automatically added. Okay, so this step is done. So what is next step is inside this table, I have to create a filter, right? I have to create a drop down. So for using the drop down, I am using a PrimeNG drop down. So for that, just closing this. For that, I have to import the PrimeNG drop down. So I'm just already took this PrimeNG drop down. You can copy this and import that PrimeNG drop down, and you can import that module inside the import section. And in order to use the drop down module, I am using ng model. So for using ng model, you have to import the forms module as well. So after this has been imported in the module section, we can go into the service. So first we have to fetch all the categories so that we can show that inside a drop down. So fetching the category, I'm not creating a separate service for now. Now I'm just creating only inside the product service.js. So what I have to do, I have to get all the categories to show as an option inside the dropdown. So get categories, then it returns an observable of string array. Sorry, string array. You can see here the category is returned. So before the category is returned array of strings. So string array, I'm telling return this dot http dot get, then string array, then I am copying the URL So once I created the service for categories, you can refer this service inside our component. So I have created this component. Before importing the service, we can make sure this component has been included inside the table. So in the product.html, we have to first check for the selector. Once it has been selected, you can go to the product.component.html, and wherever you want to import that, use that, you can use it. So what I am planning to do, inside the table and top of the heading, I'm just creating another ng template, and I'm giving the p template equal to caption. Okay, so inside that, I'm just adding our filter project. Just want to check everything is fine. See, it created a new div and it has a filter projects works. It is fine. Next we have to do is inside the project filter, inside the app filter project, you have to use the drop down component. So I'm just taking the drop down sample from here. So the p drop down options and ng model. If you want to see how to integrate the drop down, you can see another video which I have created for the p select, p drop down. So p drop down and options ng model, I'm not choosing any optional label name because it is a string array for now. So here I can tell it is a selected category, and here it will be categories. So all the options should come here. So I have to create these two variables. For that, you have to create the variable selected category, then string and empty string, then categories is string array equal to array. I saved it, and I have to assign all the category options to this variable. For that, I have to call the service. So I'm just creating a function, this get categories and get categories, just a function name, and you have to call the service function to access the categories. For that, you have to add in the constructor. So private product service is product service, just importing it, and inside that I'm just adding this dot product service dot get categories, then dot subscribe, and the response, I'm telling this dot categories equal to response. I'm saving it, so this category have all the responses. So I'm saving this one, so category have all the options we have passed. We will make sure everything is working fine. See, the electronics, jewelry, men's clothing. Now I am just adding a placeholder. So placeholder equal to select category. Saving it. So see, select category, and once it has been selected, if I want to remove the selection, I'm just adding close button. Okay, so show clear equal to true. So once has been selected, if you close it, it has been. So the drop down is completed now. Then what is next is I have a component and I have a drop down inside that. Once I select any category from this component to the product list component, I have to pass that category and I have to pass to the API. That is our next step. For doing that, what you have to do is from passing a value from a child component to parent component, we are using at output. So in the project component, I will create at output, then selected, sorry, select category. So this is selected and this is selected, just a function name. Don't confuse with, you can give any other name. So event emitter, and event emitter should be from Angular core, and you have to use. So what I am passing is once drop down has been selected, I am passing that value to the parent. So I'm passing the string, so equal to new event emitter of string. Okay, so this should be a output, should be a function. Okay, so this is done. Then what is next? Once I select it, I have to pass that selected value to the parent. For that, I have to tell on change equal to on change category. I'm just passing an event, saving, and on change of dollar event, just giving any for now. And just to make sure what it is coming when I select a value, I'm just console.log the event, saving it. So inspect console. Once I select any category, it returns an object which has a value. So I'm just taking only the value here. So event dot value. What is next? I have to pass this event dot value to the parent component. For that, whatever the output variable you have to use, you have to emit it. So this dot select dot, then emit, then you have to pass dollar event dot value. Okay, once you emit the value into the parent component should get this selected category and the emitted value. For that, what you have to do, you have to go to the parent component where the filter project component is using. So this is the parent component, and here from the filter project, they are emitting an event. So even like a click, blur, everything will be right inside a braces. So you have to give the same, whichever the function which we have emitted from the child component, you have to give the same name. So from here, which is emitted as select category. So select category is emitted. Then I am giving a function name. So we have to get products by category. So this is a function we are going to create. So just give a function name. Then from this event, it is emitting a value. So I'm just adding it as an event. Okay. So what is event is whatever we are passing from this value we will receive inside the emit. Okay. Then once we done this, we have to create in the component.ts file. So in the product.component.ts file, you have to create get products by category, and whatever we are getting is the category name, right? So that is a string. Then once I get a category from a selection, you have to call the get product list, but it is not taking any category parameter. So what you can do is you can call this dot get product list and you can pass category. So it will show error because it doesn't accept any category. So what you can do is category, since it is a single variable, I'm just giving the category. If you have a multiple filters, you can pass it as an object. Okay. So I'm just telling it's a optional parameter and it is a string. So if you have something inside the categories, you have to pass it to the product. So what happens if there is no category? If that is the case, pass a empty string. Okay. So if it is optional, if it is there, pass this one or pass this one. So inside the get products, you have to get the category always either empty value or original value of the category. So the type is string. So here is also the error left. So what you have to do in the get products. So once we have to get the category, instead of the products, you have to give a, if there is a category, you have to pass product slash category slash jewelry, and if you want to sort after jewelry you have to pass it. So in between you have to give a string if there is a category, right? So you can tell const category URL equal to, if category is there, you have to pass slash category. So I'm just using template literal. So category slash the selected category. Selected category is the category like this. Okay. Else it will be empty. So this category URL, I'm just making it as a template literal so that I can add a text and variable together. So after products, I'm just adding a slash also here. So after products, dollar category URL. Any problem? Okay, I think category URL. Okay, spelling mistake, sorry. Okay, once this has been done, let's check into the application. So you can see I select electronics, then API call is going and it is returning only electronics. See, once I go to jewelry, it only returns jewelry, men's clothing. Yeah, it's working. So once you close it, it should return all the data. See, so once I select electronics and if I close it, it should return all the data. So everything is working fine. And when it comes to the refactoring, you can push this into the subscription. So this one you can push into the subscription. So sorry, it's already done, but when you go to the filter project component, you can push into the subscription and unsubscribe when the component has been destroyed. That thing you can do. So that's all about the filters.